Welcome to the latest episode of Lexx Education, the comedy science podcast where comedian me, Laura Lexx, and my loves the behind-the-scenes brother, Ron, try to learn science together where Ron's the teacher and I'm the student. Welcome to the show. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Hope you got lots of cards.
Yeah.
Maybe some flowers.
Ooh, or a kiss on the cheek.
Commiserations to anyone that works at Moonpig. Must be a busy day.
Yeah, or funkypigeon.com.
Funkypigeon.com.
They both exist.
Neither of them are
Funky
really...
Pigeon still exist?
I don't know. Why are they called Moonpig and Funky Pigeon?
I reckon because people would go, why are they called that? And it was back in the day when it was like... weird internet things would stick in your mind.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves, DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, before it was like all about SEO, like having that, oh shit, I forgot to buy a Father's Day card.com.
Yeah. Remember confused.com?
Yeah.
That's good marketing.
Yeah. What do they do? Insurance.
I think you're just like confused about stuff. And then you go on the website.
That's the difficulty, isn't it? When you've heard of it, but you can't remember what it is.
What do you think the best marketing you've ever heard is?
Well, an old advert for something called HSA, and the advert was a little white rabbit puppet running around going, hey, just say. And I don't know what it was for, or who came up with that, but I remember it like that must have been at least 20 years ago. Sticks in my head, that nasty little rabbit puppet. Hey, just say.
Nice. I think for me, I think they were insurance, but Hastings Direct, 0800 00 1066.
Do you remember,
teaches you history, and you can phone them.
Yeah. Do you remember Notaro Windows?
No.
Notaro.
Do you remember It's Gonna Be Great? It's gonna be great.
Oh, that does ring.
The sound of Frosties hitting my plate, and then there was the big school time myth of my time at school was that kid killed himself, and then each school had a different rumor of how he did it.
Oh,
but he's fine and still alive and a normal boy.
Who's eating Frosties off a plate?
Yeah, I don't know.
The milk could go everywhere.
Because at my school, it was widely known that he'd been shot by police.
Yeah.
But at my mate Ross's school, they were told that he put 2 pencils up his nose and slammed his head on the desk.
No, don't. Yeah. Oh, Ross's school, you've got problems. I'll tell you another one I remember was a fajitas advert where this woman's husband was cooking her dinner and she was on the phone to her mate. And then at the end of it, she'd go like, I'll call you tomorrow if I'm still alive. And it was just like, you ungrateful bitch. Someone's cooking you dinner and you're just being an asshole about it.
What, because it's Mexican food?
No, because he was cooking for her.
Oh.
The whole thing was like, oh, he's cooking. And like the basic thing of the advert was like, it's so easy, even men can cook it. And then it was like, and women will be on the phone to their girlfriends bitching while you do it. Oh, horrible advert.
Women are the worst, to be fair.
Yeah, we hate them here at Lexx Education. Well, speaking of hating women...
Up with unions, but only men.
Men. Join a union, men. Women, get back in the kitchen and stay out of STEM. Ron, we're doing the Valentine's special today. We're looking... What are we trying to do? You half explained it, but I think I've got confused because you asked me to do some research and I think I've done it, but a bit wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. The concept is... I think the concept we landed on was Animal Love Island, wasn't it? And we're both bringing 5 contestants.
Yeah, see, I got a bit confused in the middle of it and have kind of gone for some really fertile animals. So I don't know if we're accidentally going to have like a very pregnant Love Island.
Mabes, but fine.
Yeah, I mean, people watch it. I've never actually ever watched an episode of Love Island.
Judith and I watched a decent amount of Love Island during lockdown because it's just like there's so much of it, you can binge it. And it's trash like any other one of these shows, you know.
Burping for like 45 seconds. It wouldn't stop.
PT. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it just sexy people go in and they have to kiss? Is that the game?
No, it's like you've got to you get voted in or kept in by the public in a Big Brother-ish way, but you do that in couples. So
you have to pretend you love each other in order to stay in.
Yeah.
Right.
Effectively. But then some people do actually like fall for each other and like that people have gotten married and had kids and stuff after it. And like some people are just so nice that they get voted in anyway, and then other people, and then it's always like they're like there'll be someone that's just like nice, and then a new person comes in because people get like constantly introduced and knocked out and stuff, and then a new person will come in, and then they'll like try and get with the nice person because the nice person's staying in whatever.
So they know from the outside world that they're popular with the public.
Oh, yeah. Because like everyone's been watching it before they come in, and then they'll come in and they'll be like, "Oh, Moira said this about you before in a talking head. Yeah, she slagged you off and stuff, and yeah." Okay,
so what we're trying to choose the animal that would be best on Love Island.
Well, I think we're just let's just one by one proffer our contestants, and then the dynamics, so what happens on Love Island is you usually get all of the girls in a line, and then the men come in one by one, and then they all talk about them. But I think let's just do it one at a time, and just like the dynamics will just fill in themselves, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, shall I go first with my first contestant?
Sure.
Okay, so this is where I've got a bit confused. And this actually might be quite disgusting thinking about it. But my first contestant, if you go to the WhatsApp web, Ron.
Yes.
And open figure A.
Yes.
I made some figures. This is the molar.
The sunfish. The mola mola.
Sunfish, yes. Yeah. The heaviest bony fish on planet Earth. It weighs 5,000 pounds. And in its spawning season, it releases 300 million eggs.
Damn, mola mola.
So that's quite a contestant on Love Island, just turns up and spaffs everywhere. More spaff than you've ever seen.
No, that's eggs, Laura.
Yeah.
Just has a big old spaff. Period all over the villa.
Yeah. And then everybody else has got to deal with that.
Well, I mean, it's a power move.
Yeah.
It's going to ruin the pool.
It is a little bit. Yeah.
They are... I'm a big fan of the Mola Mola just because, like, by all rights, this thing should have been left in the evolutionary graveyard, surely.
It's enormous.
It looks like a haunted toilet lid.
Yeah, it's huge. So if you go to livescience.com and have a look, there's a picture of a diver next to this fish. And assuming that's not like a small, skinny child, but that is an adult human, this thing's like 5-6 feet from top to bottom, 6 feet probably, because it's got flippers on that diver. So it's absolutely huge, very pale, sort of wrinkled, enormous.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it should be able to move. What it looks like is a late game Pokemon when they've run out of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are vulnerable to few natural predators, but sea lions, killer whales, and sharks will consume them.
I think not being vulnerable is probably quite good on something like Love Island, because it means that you haven't got an obvious route of attack from other people.
Yeah. They're big. That's usually quite good on Love Island. They like...
Is it?
Yeah, like big hunks,
Hunking.
beefcakes.
big beefcake muscle man.
It
just
says here,
spaffing eggs everywhere.
sunfish are considered delicacy in some parts of the world, including Japan, Korea, and Taiwan. Those are they're pretty close together. That's one part of the world. How big are they, though?
They can grow up to about 10 feet long.
Fuck off.
You'd have to have some quite big sunbeds then.
Whoa, a spinefish fry which still possesses spines that will disappear later.
What are you saying?
I think when they're like babies, they're like shurikens. They're like little throwing stars.
Oh, fun.
Crazy. But yeah, I mean, out of 10, Mola Mola, I think I'm going to give them like a 6.5.
Well, here's the thing, though. What about if they went in a sort of honey trap situation? Because if you go into something like Love Island and you've spaffed out 300 million eggs, with everybody jizzing about everywhere, one of those eggs is going to get fertilised. Boom, you've caught a baby daddy. You're not going to get stuck in. People are going to vote to keep you in because you're drama at that point.
Yeah, but what if your baby daddy doesn't win the show and then you're just with some ex-reality TV star who goes back to, like,
yeah, but that doesn't matter. You
Halfords or
came in
something?
with tactics and the crowd loves you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think, yeah.
You go and start doing, like, plus-size campaigns for Dove cream or something.
And they've got so much skin that you could rub Dove cream on.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll bump it up to a 7.
Yeah, I know I've got confused there. Instead of bringing a sexy fish, I've brought a very likely to get pregnant fish. But and then
The only way's up.
300 million eggs. That's going to be a few babies. You can start talking about how affordable childcare is a real hurdle for women getting back into the workplace.
Write a
And
book.
then when you get your boohoo fashion campaign afterwards, you can really sort of spearhead that argument.
Yeah. All right. Shall I introduce one of my contestants?
Yes, please.
2 seconds. He may not have the flashy tail or groovy dances of a bird of paradise, a streak of danger like a bird of prey, or the salty surfer vibe of a gull, but this busy beaver will show you he cares in other ways. A DIY expert and an eye for decoration, the bowerbird builds a weird sex tunnel and fills it with blue, yellow, and shiny objects.
I love the bowerbird.
Yeah.
In my first ever stand-up show, I had like a 15-minute bit about the bowerbird.
No.
Yes, I did.
Do it now.
I cannot remember it. That was like 8 years ago. Oh, I had a whole bit about him, and he'd dance and he'd like do this like shimmying from side to side to get their attention, and then he'd collect up, and some of them collect up like piles of dung because it's round and shiny, and some of them collect berries and things like that, and some of them try to collect ladybugs, and then the ladybugs wander off and the bowerbird spends all day pushing them back into a pile, and the ladybugs are like, oh guys, no, I've got stuff to do. I can't be here being your wingman.
Yeah, I wanted to go for the bowerbird because, contestant number 2 is pretty horrific for me. So I just wanted a nice one, cute little bird. But I feel like birds of paradise are a bit done,
I wasn't listening. I was changing one of my animals. I'm sorry.
Did you pick a bowerbird as well?
No, I've realised I've picked another one about breeding. I think I got confused as to the point of Love Island.
Yeah, it's not some Handmaid's Tale like situation.
No, fixed it now, don't worry.
Yeah. But just the bowerbird just seems like a nice guy,
Yeah, like a homemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of a dad bod.
But what could you do? Can you go to the shops on Love Island? Is there a little kiosk that they can buy little treats?
No, but they do sort of Big Brother style challenges every now and again.
Okay.
And I think if there was
Like, no, this challenge, you were supposed to do a triathlon. You've just made a pile of everybody's jewellery, Keith. Yeah, I have done that. That's my thing, though.
Can you do a good Ian Sterling impression?
No.
Nah, me neither. That would be
A
gold,
Scottish
though.
accent for me is very difficult unless it's like Nana's Edinburgh accent. That's about all I can do.
Do that, but like really Ian Sterling-y.
You do it. You've watched it.
Yeah, but you know who he is.
Yeah, I know him, but I can't do his voice.
No, me neither. I'm not a professional. Yeah, but
You're
yes,
normal.
they do challenges and that. And then I think if there was someone whose thing was like collecting something like that, they might do a challenge so that they could shine. Because the other thing is that quite often in a season of Love Island, you get like one person that's just nice and not like a Love Island type. And then they're usually cherished by the other people in kind of like a patronizing way. Like, oh, they're not fit, but they are nice.
I bet they are fit, though. They might not look fit on Love Island compared to everybody else, but I bet in a room full of, like, us, they'd be the most attractive person we've ever seen in our lives.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, a bowerbird. I mean, I'm very fond of a bowerbird. I spent most of 2015 talking about them in a small room in the underbelly. So, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, my notes on the bowerbird, it looks like a nice guy, a bit of a dad bod, but then the females are pretty jazzy. They've got kind of like tiger print leggings.
Oh, really? I thought the females were quite brown and shitty.
Yeah, hang on, let me, I've got sources.
Send me a figure A.
Figure C.
Oh, yeah, because I sent you a figure B. We'll get to that in a bit. Oh, I love a bowerbird. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see?
They like have that bright blue streak when they start dancing, when they fan out the big tail. It's amazing.
They are of least concern on their conservation status. Kingdom, Animalia. Phylum, Chordata. Class.
Yeah. I'm not
Aves.
saying I'd want an entire season of bowerbirds, but one bowerbird in there. You couldn't do it with all bowerbirds, but we could maybe throw one bowerbird
No, but like
into
think
the
about
mix.
this. You've got the bowerbird in there. You've got Mola just spewing omelette all over the villa. And then the bowerbird could like collect that up, and then he's like trotting around, cleaning up, like making collections and stuff.
They make a good partnership, these two already. I could see them getting into a couple.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people would vote for that because it would be pretty
He's
cute.
building the home and Molla's there ready to go.
He could perch on the top of her fin.
Molla May.
Nice. That's good
Cute.
work considering you don't watch Love Island.
No, but I've seen a few things about her making fashion or something. Okay, do you want my next contestant, Ron?
Yes.
Right. Okay, this one I haven't got confused about. I can see this guy working out very well. I've gone with the barnacle.
All right, do tell.
The barnacle has the biggest penis relative to body size in the animal kingdom.
My.
While the blue whale has the biggest penis on Earth, except for Tom, the barnacle has a dick 8 times its total body length.
Jesus, can you imagine if Tom's dick was 9 times bigger than him? Because Tom's massive.
What's 8 times 6? 48?
8.
If he had a 48-foot long penis.
But also, like, as girthy as him.
He wouldn't be able to move. Well, this is the thing about the barnacle. So the barnacle cannot move. So he's not going to be the most active Lothario, but he's basically
Yeah, because
just
a
going to
barnacle's
get
like
in
a
a bed.
millimetre long, right?
Barnacles? No, they're quite big, aren't they? Like, you see them on ships. They're like an inch or so, inch and a half.
Are they?
Yeah, barnacles are like... Yeah, like humans have to go off and scrape them off. Like, I think they probably range quite a lot, but I think they go up to a couple of inches. But yeah, their penis is 8 times their body length. So a barnacle, once it's stuck on, it stays there its whole life. It doesn't get off and move around.
And then it just has to fuck everything within a dick's length.
It just sends its dick out in a little dick radar and just dips in everything all in around him.
Are there boy barnacles and girl barnacles, or are they like hermaphroditic?
This is beyond my research.
Because if you were reaching around and, like, I mean, I'm presuming barnacles are mainly straight. If you were reaching
they're
around with your...
functionally sequential hermaphrodites.
Okay. So I imagine that means that they turn from male to female as it suits them.
Yeah, they act as either male or female at any point in time, not both at the same time.
Yeah, well, I guess you just have to talk to the people around you and be like, I'm dicks this month, you're fannies.
Skins and vests.
Yes.
Just knocking on the neighbour's door. Excuse me, I'm a dick today. Do you mind? Oh, go on then, thank you.
Fine.
But that could be quite fun, just having some guy that just gets on a sun lounger and then just prodding people in the small of the back with his dick.
Just whips it around. I mean, you've got big synergy there with the mola, like just barnacle on the back and just be dick whipping them eggs as they come out.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're just lying there and you've got this massive dick, you want that for fucking. You don't want to just be fertilizing eggs.
That's true. But I don't see, because bowerbird builds a nest and then attracts a mate, unless the barnacle is already there.
Yeah, it's
there's not much
the
synergy there.
No. I think this is the flaw with the mola, really, is that fish don't fuck.
Not so much, no.
No. So that is the downside, is that we know that there's no sexual tension for anybody cuddling up with the mola.
No, but to be fair, no one apart from you thought that this was a positive, that the fish has a massive period all over the Love Island villa.
It's not really a period.
No, it's caviar.
Yeah. Well, that's lovely if they're just bringing loads of caviar.
All right. We'll do Valentine's episode next year, Love Island catering. Who'd be the best?
If I shut tiramisu and turned up to a party, you'd be very happy.
All right, I'll do my next one.
All right, but I think the barnacle is a good contender.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think good contender, but we're going to have to find a contestant that works well with it, you know? Not for everybody.
Okay.
But that does well on Love Island, the divisive people sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. Contestant number 2 from me. They may be named after a common place for shags, but can this little mite live up to its location? Yes. During sex, the bedbug basically shags its mate in half, leaving her with a horrible wound and a shorter lifespan.
Oh my God.
So it's similar to the barnacle.
No, I don't want that. Thank you. In the Love Island, that's Abuse Island.
But the way that bedbugs mate, it's pretty horrible. It's called traumatic insemination.
Oh,
but
God.
Basically, the male...
Is this why people in American sitcoms are always obsessed with bedbugs? Because they don't want this happening around them while they sleep.
If they knew, I'm sure, that there'd have been an outcry by the conservative religious right. Because what the bedbugs are doing, the male just shags into the female's body.
What? Is there a hole there to begin with, or did they create one?
There didn't used to be.
Oh no! Oh, bedbugs! Don't do that to each other.
The benefit of which being that you can get in ahead of anyone else's sperm. The downside being that it really shortens the lifespan of the female.
Yeah.
They bleed. It's bad.
Oh, that's horrible. Why have you brought this to our nice island?
Oh, because when we started this, it wasn't about Love Island. It was about mating rituals. So not all of mine match Love Island that well. The female bedbugs have now started evolving kind of just like a soft place for them to be shagged through.
Oh, bedbugs. It really feels like they've got this evolving the wrong way round. That should have evolved before the rest of their lives. I'm really sorry, bedbugs, that you've gone through that.
Because who knew? Because bedbugs have a thing, right? They're in bed. That's it for them. But then, no. This.
Oh, God. So, how does their insides work then, that they can just, spaff in an armpit and it gets them pregnant? Are they just got eggs everywhere in them?
I'd say they'd probably
Or do they get...
They probably pierce it. No, they must pierce at the same place, because otherwise the females wouldn't be able to evolve this sort of glow stick style break to light it vagina.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I feel quite depressed after that one, actually.
My notes are not very hot, if you look at a picture of a bedbug. Not very woke, but they're kind of a cool golden colour a bit.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to watch a tan on telly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't think they'd stay in, because sometimes what happens is if someone doesn't get coupled, they'll get kicked out, and I see that happening to the bedbugs. Although, maybe bedbug and barnacle.
No, wait, no. If you don't have an opening for a penis, you don't want the world's largest penis coming at you.
Oh, no, I was thinking the other way. Like, must be quite hard to be a penised individual shagging a barnacle. Bedbugs seem like they have the gumption to get through.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. What does a bedbug barnacle even look like?
Kind of a barnacle with legs, I guess.
And then if you're born the offspring of a bedbug barnacle mating liaison and you're a female bedbug, you're happy because you've probably got a harder carapace. So maybe you're a little bit more defended.
But think about the dick. It's going to be 8 times as big.
Yeah, it's hard to get away from. I'm really sad that you've brought this guy in. Let's nice it up a bit. Now, I did have rabbit, but again, I'd got a bit confused there with it being about mating. So I've changed it to those penguins where the dad looks after the egg on his feet for ages.
No, it is about mating, isn't it? Is that not what we're doing?
I thought we were doing Good People for Love Island.
Yeah, I guess. It's a tenuous concept for an episode.
Because I had rabbits in, because I was like, oh, breeding like rabbits is a phrase for a reason, you know.
Rodents love to make babies.
Yeah, like brown rats apparently are the world's most common mammal after humans. So there's that. But then we don't necessarily just want to get people in that are just, you know, having babies. So I thought penguins could be quite good because they do work together as a team and they do seem to form, like, you know, they're monogamous, but they're also quite independent, which I think people might like.
Yeah, they do spend quite a lot of time apart.
Like the dads have that bro code, so he's going to fit in with the other guys, but he's also being, like, childcare-y, so that's going to go down well. He's a good role model.
They've got nice yellow necks.
Yeah, the women are off doing their own thing, hunting, being independent, and then they come home and are good family people. So they're just a good all-rounder for everybody liking them.
Yeah, they're quite isolationist, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't often...
But maybe that means that they'll be good in the diary room. Is there a diary room?
There is a diary room.
Yeah, maybe they'd be good in there then, because they like to go off on their own and have their thoughts.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Good swimmers, so they'll be in and out of that pool. You want shots of water coming off a furry chest.
Yeah, they can hang out with the mola mola in the pool.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe they'd get a barnacle on them because they're waterbound. It'd be very... I think the Love Island villa is in Spain. Might be a bit hot for a...
No, penguins live in South Africa.
Not these ones.
Yeah, I guess they might get a bit malty and straggly.
Yeah, we'll have to see. You know, the boy penguins like to hold the eggs in their little skin flap above their feet.
Their little pouch.
They could like scoop up all of the sunfish's eggs.
Yes, that's good synergy. Because these penguins, they do, if they lose their egg, they will, like fight for another one.
Yeah. And sometimes they adopt
be a good episode.
Other penguins that don't have a mama or a papa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that, yeah, that's pretty good.
They don't have great figures. There's no hourglass.
No.
But that's good for body positivity.
That's
and
very
showing
good for
off
body
different
positivity.
shapes.
Maybe they wouldn't quite nail the Boohoo contract after...
No.
But they're a penguin, so they probably aren't big fans of fast fashion anyway.
No, it's really, really on the verge of making them go extinct due to global warming. So they're probably, maybe they do an anti-fast fashion campaign.
Slow fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My feathers, nobody's feathers but mine. You can wear your own skin, let me wear mine.
Doo-ba-doo, doo-ba-doo, clang.
Yeah, I think they're going to be low-key, but you're going to like them. But I don't know if they're, are they nice enough to win?
I think they're going to dish. They're going to dish the tea in the diary room.
Do you reckon? They are quite chatty, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad breath, though.
Fishy.
Yeah.
Also, always they're like, oh yeah, we'll do the cooking tonight, and then they're just trying to vomit in everyone else's mouths.
Yeah, you might want them to be like the washing up guys. They just swim around with the dishes in their mouths for a bit until it's clean.
Should
Aw, now I really want to watch this.
Animal Love Island?
Yeah.
I think you could do a good one with Aardman. Do you remember Creature Comforts?
Yeah.
Do that, but it's Love Island with animals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, lab rats. Those of you that are the arty ones, you know who you are. Jenny, get drawing these things, please.
Contestant number 5.
This is your third one.
Yeah. Contestant number
6.
3 from Ron.
6 total. It's Ron's counting segment. do 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 do.
Sisters are doing it for themselves with contestant number 3. The female anglerfish is bigger, stronger, and scarier than her shrimpy mates. To mate, the much smaller anglerfish fuse themselves to the side of the female and then slowly shrivel until they're just a pair of testicles dangling in the current.
Wait, I'm sorry, what's just happened?
So you know an
We had
anglerfish.
this alpha female has turned up, and then she's so alpha, she's attracted 2 bitches to be her best friends, and then they've turned into her testicles.
Yep.
I love her.
So you know anglerfish.
I simply
are the
love
ones with...
Pixar. You made great strides with making that strong one in Encanto. Now we need the story of this anglerfish who was so baller her best friends became her balls.
So you know the ones that anglerfish. They're the ones with little lights on their head, right?
Yeah. Like in Finding Nemo.
Exactly, yeah. So that's a female anglerfish. They're about the size of a football. They're hideous. They've got the lights on their head to attract the mate. There's I was reading a story about when scientists were first analysing anglerfish, and they were catching them and stuff, and they were realising that every single one they were catching was a female, and they were all covered in these little parasites all over them. And then they looked further, and what they realised is that the parasites are the male of the species, because the males are tiny. So what they do, the males, is they literally just they come and then they just nip onto the side of the female, and then they just become a sperm depository. And they just become little, they shrivel away until they're just testicles, and they just deliver sperm to the female.
So is anybody going to want to pair up with her, knowing that you're going to pair up and that's it, you're gone?
I think
you're off the show after that.
I think some people are into that.
But is that why you go on Love Island?
But isn't us wife guy a thing at the moment?
Yeah, but they're always
the ultimate wife
cheating.
Yeah.
You make your identity about being wife guy, and then actually you're just a bit of a creep. I think that's the pattern.
Well, she seemed magnetic.
I like her, Ron. I'm big. I want her to be in there. I'm worried about her chances of pairing up because it's a big ask to say you are going to dissolve everything about you into me and my being.
Yeah. I think she'd probably come on, do quite well for a bit, but then maybe spurn some people. And then if she spurned someone that was popular, then she might get voted out. But I think she'd do quite well on social media afterwards because she's got a built-in ring light.
Ron, that's the best joke that's ever been told on this podcast.
It wasn't really a joke.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but I don't know. It didn't have a
was good.
punchline.
That was the punchline. Built-in ring light was the punchline. You don't know anything about jokes. We need to do the joke lesson for the Patreon very soon. I like her.
Yeah.
She's going to go down really well with the public, I think. I'm not sure we've seen a character like that on television yet.
No. Just the alpha female.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, my argument for the next one is a little bit weak sauce.
Okay.
My penultimate one. But kangaroos, I just can really picture it, and I think it'd be very funny.
Okay.
Like, kangaroos are buff. Have you ever seen a picture of a really buff kangaroo?
I like kangaroos.
Yeah, and I think that they'd be great on Love Island because they're absolutely swole. They're bipedal, so we can obviously really relate to them.
Are you imagining humans voting for these animals, or is it the animal kingdom at large voting for people the animals to stay on Animal Love Island?
Probably a mixture of both.
Interesting.
What are you picturing?
I was kind of picturing the opening scenes of The Lion King.
Oh, okay. I think the animal kingdom's too broad, though, because you're not going to find an animal that the animal kingdom agree on.
No.
Look at this. So I've just sent you a picture of Roger, who's a real buff kangaroo.
Yeah, he's kind of hot.
Right? Like, listen, I'm not.
Oh, no,
saying,
he's 12. Bag better.
You know, he died. Yeah, well, he's dead anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, a hot, dead 12-year-old. That's not better.
Look at this picture from Business Insider. Look at Roger.
Insider? Hardly knew her.
Look at him having a little sexy lie down. They love a scrap. They love a punch up. So they'll get real mad at somebody else. Like, say Roger's coupled up with his little bowerbird missus, right?
Yeah.
She's sick of this homemaker. She just wants some chonky muscle. Then they're spooning one night and being like, oh, we're alone now, but we've left our mic packs on. But whoops, we've forgotten. Nobody knows we're whispering to each other. Then what's that? The barnacles creeping his little dick across to try and get in his bowerbird while he's spooning her. Roger's going to lose his mind. Bounces over, punching the shit out of the barnacle, grabbing the dick and just yanking it. Like, they're scrappy.
The absolute seams.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. On the female side, they've got a pouch.
Yeah.
For babies.
That means that
they've also got
means
5 vaginas and 3 dicks or something, yeah.
Then the bedbug might really like her because got options finally. Gone from a life of having to make his own options.
Hang on, I'm just Googling kangaroo vagina. They have 3 vaginas, sorry guys.
3. See, I think that's good for the bedbug then.
Yeah.
Also, the pouch, going to have so much to chat about with the male penguins.
Yep. Yeah. The climate-wise matches the villa.
Yeah. Australian. I'm sure there's probably Australian Love Island, and it's got 90 more episodes a season.
I can't believe you've never watched Love Island. You'd love it. Pitbull was there once, and Craig David.
Oh my God, I love Pitbull.
Yeah.
And Craig David too, to be fair. Yeah, it's one of those things where I have a strange reaction when everybody on social media gets into something. I just don't want to.
Yeah. You think you're above it better than everyone else?
No, not really, but also with Love Island, I think there's a real thing with that of you've got to watch it at the time everyone's talking about it, and it's at nights, and I'm not around at night.
No, that's not true. We watched it years afterwards, but you do have to watch it with someone else.
Yeah, I don't have someone else to watch it with.
Yeah, you don't just binge Love Island on your own.
Can you move back to Brighton and then I'll watch it with you?
I've already seen it, so I'll stay here.
Yeah, but there's more. Isn't there one happening right now?
Yeah, but I've watched enough. I've had my
but
fill.
still move back to Brighton.
Have you watched MILF Manor yet?
No, stop trying to get me to watch MILF Manor.
We
about it.
We couldn't make it through an episode. It was so bad.
Sounds absolutely horrifically
It makes you say
problematic.
MILF more than you should.
Yeah, I don't want that in my life, thank you. I'll just watch The Office for the 9th time.
Shall I do contestant number R4?
Yeah, let's have your penultimate contestant.
Contestant number 4 is more brain cake than beef cake, as they are smart and delicious. The cuttlefish is a cephalopod, but don't let that put you off. It's smart, can communicate, and it's all hands. So the reason why I've chosen the... What? What?
Yep. What does that even mean?
I don't know. It's made out of... It's all hands. The reason why I've gone for the cuttlefish is because they have a very... So they, like... they kind of span from like hunks to like little scamps in terms of like sort of body dimorphism, and the hunks will have like little they'll like sort of have like little harems of female cuttlefish, and then the little scampy male cuttlefish will kind of just wait around, and then when the hunky cuttlefish is distracted, they will dress as a woman to sneak into the harem, and then have sex with all of the women.
Yes, that's going to be great TV.
Yeah, like, you know, if comes in dressed in bikini, goes on like the girl, like when they go to Casa Amor, goes with all the girls, but just espionage.
Great also, I think, for the blurring of gender distinctions, which is a big topic of conversation in society at the moment. And I think an animal that does that in nature, brilliant, to show humans that not everything is as binary as they want to believe for their own culture war.
Absolutely, yeah. Because this is just a scampy little cuttlefish just dressing up and having a fun time.
All right, mate. I'm a cheekster.
Cheekster?
Yeah, little cheeky cheekster. That's how I imagine the cuttlefish is talking.
I imagine cuttlefish to be quite posh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aren't they those, like, funny little white flat things that you see on the beach all the time, and then people put them in a budgie cage?
That's their bone, yeah.
Yeah, the bowerbird be waiting for this cuttlefish to die so he can have that.
I don't see cuttlefish and barnacle getting on too well. Cuttlefish too soft, barnacle too hard.
Might get on well with the molar, though.
Yeah, I can see that. 8 arms to catch 300 million eggs with.
It's going to be difficult with the anglerfish. I don't know how this massive alpha-female situation and then a little sneaky cheekster, is that going to work?
Well, you do have the hunky cuttlefish as well. So, but then the alpha-female doesn't...
But that's going to come to blows with the anglerfish, surely.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you do want the scampy little...
They're going to be fiery. But you don't want everybody to like each other. If you're going to make a good series, you need some controversy. And I think the anglerfish, like alpha female, coming up against a hunky, massive cuttlefish, they're gonna have opposing views on a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah. I don't see penguin and cuttlefish getting on, because penguins have quite strict gender roles.
Yeah.
That they want to stick. Like, if you had a male penguin that was dressing up as a female penguin so that he didn't have to look after the eggs, you know, that I don't think that would fly. No.
Yeah, that's going to be confusing.
Yeah.
I like the cuttlefish, though. Feels to me, that cuttlefish, they're going to be on Love Island, and then the next thing they know, they're probably hosting the spin-off show, whatever it's called, next year.
Yeah.
You know?
Love Island Afterbirth, or whatever it's called, the one where they talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one. That's one that I chose after we'd locked down a format.
I like it.
Yeah. Would you want to do your last one?
I do. Now, this one is horrifying. However, I think is a contender for my strongest argument.
Okay.
I need you to just have a look at the picture of figure B, please.
Imagine if we had the same one.
Don't read the article. My fifth and final one is this adorable little, like, mouse vole type thing. It's called a brown antechinus. And I'm going to read you what nationalgeographic.com has to say. Ron, please don't read ahead. Are you listening?
Yes.
So this is nationalgeographic.com. It's August in Australia, and a small mouse-like creature called an Antechinus is busy killing himself through sex.
Oh, no.
He was a virgin until now, but for 2 to 3 weeks, this little Lothario goes at it non-stop. Perfect, right? What a story. He mates with as many females as he can in violent, frenetic encounters that can each last up to 14 hours. He does little else. A month ago, he irreversibly stopped making sperm. So he's full of all the sperm he will ever have. And he's got to spaff it out in the next couple of weeks.
It does not say spaff it out in National Geographic.
No, it says it says something else. But basically, he's got to he's made it all, and it's got to go. Everything must go, closing down sail. He exhausts himself so thoroughly that his body starts to fall apart. His blood courses with testosterone and stress hormones. His fur falls off. He bleeds internally. His immune system fails to fight off incoming infections, and he becomes riddled with gangrene. He's a complete mess, but he's still after sex. By the end of the mating season, physically disintegrating, males may run around frantically searching for last mating opportunities, says Diana Fisher from the University of Queensland. By that time, females are, not surprisingly, avoiding them. Soon it's all over. A few weeks shy of his first birthday, he is dead, along with all the other male Antechinus in the area.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Love Island goes on for like 6 weeks.
Well, he's dead really early into it.
He just shags himself to death in the first couple of weeks. But
Yeah.
it sounds like from after week 1, he's pretty horrific.
Oh,
already.
disgusting. Hobbling around, half bald. Eyes have popped out of his skull. The women are pretending they can't see him.
Oh.
But he was a virgin when he got there, and then he just turns up and it's like, yeah, get it, get it, get it.
Horrifying.
He's also a baby.
Yeah, he's less than a year old.
He's 11 months old. He turns up ready to bang. But think of all the opinion pieces people will have in The Guardian about him.
Oh, goodness.
Imagine that. You spend the first 11 months of your life hoarding spunk, and then you just fuck yourself to death over the course of 3 weeks trying to give it all away. He's dead before any of his babies are even born.
Oh, no.
Isn't he a gross little guy? I love him.
I feel like he needs to pair up with the anglerfish. Because he's going to death wish anyway.
Yeah, and she'll just absorb him, and then he'll live on.
Yeah.
That could be the romance of the series, because the thing about him is I think he's going to have a real arc on the show, you know? He's going to turn up.
He has to. If he gets voted off, he's still going to die. He may as well have his time in the sun.
He turns up, right, and he's this shy little virgin from the backwaters of Australia, right? And everybody's like, oh, he's so cute, he's never even had sex. Cut to episode 2. What the fuck is happening? He's had sex with everyone and he won't stop. And it's been going on for 14 hours. And it's horrifying. And then they're all like, oh God, he's disgusting. He's actually Lothario. Then he starts dying and we have some talks about toxic masculinity and how if he'd had better role models, he wouldn't be all bald and gangrenous and skin falling off and bleeding out of his anus and stuff right now. And then we think about the fact that he couldn't help it, and then he's dead.
Yeah. I'm in.
It's a journey.
Yeah, unfortunately, he won't win because he'll be dead.
Unless he is absorbed into the anglerfish. That's the best bet for him, I think, is to have that journey and then to have the alpha female of the squad absorb him in.
But what you'd get in that situation in Love Island is people going, oh, you're just into Angie because you know, she's going to save your life.
Yeah, but what do you care at that point? What do you care, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
boohoo
it's
deal
do
is
or
just
fucking
for-
die for this guy. Please let me bite your hip until I'm just balls, because otherwise, my eyes are gonna fall out.
The boohoo deal is just for coffin shapes. So you might as well team up with Angie Angler, you know?
Yeah.
What else is there?
Angie, I mean, yeah, I think Angie would be into it.
I think so. Why not? Because she doesn't have to only have one parasite hanging off
No,
her.
exactly.
So why not have this small little bald gangrenous
She can
mole?
collect a whole flank of ball sacks.
Yeah.
Well,
So here's my last pitch and my best pitch.
yeah. I'm worried that mine will be a bit of a letdown after that. But contestant number R5. There won't be any of the dickdom on us who haven't dreamed of using our peen as a sword, and therefore contestant number 5 will be the envy of all. The flatworm is an oceanic hermaphrodite that can be either male or female in mating terms. When they meet, they whip out their needly dicks and engage in a ritual called penis fencing, fighting to stab the other with their dick and inseminate them.
Wow. Okay. I'm now imagining that fighting the kangaroo.
Now, the interesting thing about penis fencing is that it kind of seems like, you lose if you get inseminated, right? Because they're kind of fighting to stop that from happening. But if, like, a flatworm is successful and they inseminate the other one and they win, they just keep going until they get inseminated. I think they find it fun.
Yeah, all right. So it's like, oh no, don't get me, don't get me. Oh, I won the fight. Oh, who else wants to fight? Don't get me.
Yeah.
That's cute. And do you know what would be fun in that? If they're really good at the dick fencing, then they can do that with the barnacle, who won't be skilled but has a massive wang.
Like the sort of the Highlander sword of penises. Yeah.
So it's like never picked it up and used it for a fight before, but boom, it's a nuclear weapon.
Yeah. Not a super. I don't see Angie and the flatworm getting along.
No.
Flatworm.
She's just, why fight when you can absorb?
Yeah.
And the molar, she's just like, guys, I'm ready to go. I don't need to squabble.
Yeah, she is ready to burst.
She's just on it. She's in there. I think this is a bit beneath the penguin. I think the penguin's going to get voted out for being a bit square.
Yeah, penguin, again, too strong on the gender roles for the flatworm.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I think actually that needleworm thing, what was it called?
Flatworm.
Flatworm.
It has a needly penis.
A needly penised flatworm. That's going to pair well, I think, against the bowerbird, because you've got someone fighting and you've got someone homemaking. And I think that that's going to provide a good discourse for the viewer.
Yeah, as long as the flatworm never cheats on the bowerbird because it might knock over the house while needle fighting with another prospective mate.
Oh, the bowerbird would be livid.
Yeah, I think flatworm and kangaroo, that's going to be, they might have a fiery, passionate thing, but that's going to be too intense.
Yeah. It's not going to work for the Antechinus because that's going to have fucked you before you've even got your sword out of its sheath.
Yeah. I think maybe cuttlefish and flatworm could go well, because cuttlefish, they're agile.
Yeah. They both hermaphrodites?
No, cuttlefish isn't hermaphrodite, but the cuttlefish pretends to be a female.
Yeah.
So, that's role-playing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, is there a conclusion we can come to from this run? It doesn't feel like there's one.
No, but I guess we should end the episode by picking the pair that we think should win.
Okay.
Or we could throw to the lab rats and they can vote on couples. We could couple them up.
I'm interested in the lab rats' opinions. Just generally, I want to know. I want to know if you've got options you'd throw in the mix. I've got a lot of questions, and I want to hear your opinions. Who were you hoping we'd bring up that we didn't? I guess if I had to punt, so yours were, let me just write yours down.
Yeah.
Your options were...
Should we just couple them up and let the lab rats vote?
The cuttlefish, the anglerfish...
Flatworm.
The flatworm...
Bedbugs.
Bugs.
And the bowerbird.
And the bowerbird. Okay. So, here's what I'm thinking. Well, listen, Brown Antechinus and Angie work for me.
Yeah, that's a couple.
They make it work.
Can you just repeat
anglerfish.
yours again? Sorry, so I've got them in the top of my mind.
I've got molar, barnacle, penguin, Brown Antechinus, and the kangaroo.
Yeah, Brown Antechinus and Angie, the anglerfish, definitely.
Yeah, they work. Are we trying to pair up one of mine with one of yours?
No, I think just best pairs.
Okay.
Let's not have my animals fuck your animals.
Okay, so anglerfish is done and the Brown Antechinus is done. The penguin...
Who else has got that kind of... Maybe penguin and bowerbird. They've both got the rolls thing.
I was going to say penguin and molar, because the molar's turned up ready to go. She just wants to get on with it. The penguin's got a steadfast work routine.
But think about this, right? Penguin and bowerbird meet up. The penguin's then got a house to wait in with the egg while the woman's away getting all the fish and that. And it's got all this blue, yellow, and shiny stuff to hang out with.
You make a good point.
That's what I'd go for.
All right, penguin and bowerbird.
Or I guess penguin and molar is also good because the penguin can collect up all the eggs and shuffle them about.
We did mention that because the other option then is the kangaroo and the molar, but that feels like the pouchness is the only thing they've really got going for them.
Yeah, but that's kind of the same with the penguin. If anything, it's less of a pouch.
All right, so we're putting bowerbird and penguin together.
Kangaroo and... But I feel like we're just dooming the kangaroo to cleaning up after the molar.
Yeah, the molar's difficult.
Isn't a good choice, just as a big caviar explosion.
Yeah.
How about this? We could put the
We're
molar...
going to do bedbug and barnacle together.
Well, I was going to say we could do bedbug and molar because the bedbug breaks the female in half, basically, when they have sex. Molar doesn't have to have sex.
And the molar's so big, it can take being fucked by a bedbug without being broken in half.
Yeah, we could spare the rest of the
Let's do
contestants.
the bedbug and the molar together, because they're both kind of sad, but at least
they're both of our
won't hurt
weakest
each
choices.
other.
Sometimes
Yeah.
in Love Island, the worst choices do pair up because no one else will have them.
Yeah. Okay, so then I kind of like the idea then of the barnacle and the flatworm dick jousting.
Yeah, I think they'd have a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then, how about that? Then we have paired them all up together, by the way, mine and yours. Then, if we put the kangaroo and the cuttlefish together, a kangaroo can learn to cross-dress.
Yeah, I think it's our weakest pair, but it was one of necessity, so fine.
Yeah, it was just who was left. Maybe that's where the good TV is. Everybody else is paired off for reasons, and then those two are just left and have to kind of fake it to the cameras.
Yeah, I can see that. So I guess we'll do a Twitter poll.
Because kangaroos are quite buff, and it's a buff cuttlefish and a buff kangaroo, and they're just
That's
buff
true.
narcissists that buff love each other.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have to go for the shrimpy cuttlefish.
Yeah, we'll go for a buff cuttlefish, a bufflefish.
A bufflefish.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get
cuttleroo.
chatting. A cuttleroo, yeah.
Cuttleroo. That's their couple name. I guess let's do a Twitter poll, see what the lab rats think.
Yeah, Yeah, get chatting. Let us know what you think. If you're not on Twitter, you can chat to us on Instagram and Twitter. We're also on TikTok and Patreon, patreon.com/Lexx Education. If you want our monthly extra lesson, geography is sitting there in the feed right now. Find out all about Mexico. But hey, happy Galentine's, happy Valentines, Fab and Lab Rats. We love you very much. We hope you've enjoyed this speculation on which animal should fuck in a villa. Island dismissed.
Villas missed.
Love dismissed. Kisses, bye.
Bye.